A voice we're very familiar with, play-by-play announcer Kevin Calabro, and Kevin now joins us. Kevin, we got to unpack something that happened at the Moda Center the other night that Michael and I are still talking about. I want to know what was going through your mind when Lamar Hurd pulls up his Dame threes and mid-game asks Coach Stotts to scoot out of the way as the ball's getting inbounded.
I'd never seen anything like that before, and I was amazed. I was trying to stay in the moment and remember as much as I could about it. And then I looked at the monitor to see, if we've gone this far, are we actually getting the shot? And so after he asked an NBA coach to move out of the way during action, I might add, I looked down at the monitor. All we were seeing was a white towel. So we all encouraged him. I could hear Dan Hyatt, our producer, tell him the same thing. Move the shoe up above the towel so we can at least see the shoe. So I think we did get the shot. I have not taken a look back at it, but it was certainly a television first.
No, and trust me, it had its uniqueness factor, Kevin. But was your initial feeling that this is a rookie move and I can't wait to talk to him, or this is brilliant television?
I think he knew at that point that what he had done was a little out of the box, maybe. And I believe he told me at the end of the broadcast that he was going to talk to Coach Stotts about that, and and make sure that wouldn't happen again. But first time's good. Okay. I remember George Karl used to sit in front of me intentionally all the time, and I would poke him in the back. But I'd had several years of doing broadcasts at that point. So I felt like I at least had the latitude to do that because I'd been in the league a while. So I'd kind of poke George just to remind him, hey, I'm trying to do a job too. Please move out of the way. Terry's very good about that. I notice it, he'll sometimes he'll stand in front of us and then realize, hey, I'm in their way, and then move down the bench a little bit, or he'll take a knee and duck out of the way. But that's awfully nice of them because I know they've got a very intense job to do, and want to focus as much as they can on the floor and not on what we're doing behind them.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Lamar because I wanted to have a measured response to such an exciting event. And sharing in that, I had a similar moment, and mine's made it onto Marv Alford's Hall of Shame. So I'm going to let Lamar know. When I was a player, Kevin, I was standing inbounds, and my teammate was out of bounds, and he was supposed to inbound the ball to me, and I was listening to my coach. Coach subbed him out. I stepped out of bounds and continued to listen to my coach, and when the referee handed me the ball, I walked on the court dribbling. and when I saw Lamar do that, I would flash back to that moment.
You were totally confused, Michael.
and speaking of the dynamic between you and Lamar, we certainly enjoy the back and forth and the banter and kind of the balance of new school and old school. And you guys have had a history of working together a little bit, but going to Lamar and the job he's doing this first year, what has impressed you the most about how he's handled the transition to analyzing the NBA game?
Well, he keeps it balanced. I mean, in the college game, obviously, by this time in the college game, your season's over. We've already played 29 games, so it's done. He has not hit the proverbial rookie wall. He's stayed focused in every game, certainly, and I think he realizes with the pro game, 82 games, marathon season, all those cliches being true, you can't get too far up, and you can't get too far down when it comes to following the team. And you get emotionally involved because you get to know the guys, the coaches, you're spending time with these guys all the time, and you're part of the community as well. So emotionally, you're very invested. But he's been very even keel, I think, about the broadcast, and it's been very informative, obviously, about the positives and the negatives of what's going on out on the floor. And that's I think that's all you can really ask for a hometown announcer is to be have as much passion and emotion as he possibly can, do his homework, and be truthful and be fair, obviously, with the game and with the team.
After the Golden State game, Coach Stotts said you just keep these things in perspective. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. It's a long season. And I want to know from your perspective, because you guys do have a unique perspective during the games, being so close to the bench, so close to the action. You can read body language, different things that we don't see. What have you seen from this Portland team during this stretch where 8 out of the last 9 have essentially been on the road?
Well, you've got a young team first and foremost, and a team that is, and something Michael said this summer struck me and really has stayed with me, and that is, folks, we are growing organically as an organization. That can be a long and painful process. And you're absolutely right. This team last year was 11-18 at this point. They're 13-16 at this year. I think what is troubling, I think, to a lot of fans is the nature of some of these losses. I mean, you give up 38 points, as they did the other night to the Nuggets in the first quarter, 74 by half against the Nuggets, and then 39 in the first quarter against the Warriors. It just seems like they're getting early on, they're just falling behind and unable to dig themselves out. I know that they're prepared. I know that they're focused. I know that they want to win, and I know that they're giving an effort. But it's just troubling that these starts are just killing them. And the nature of the big blowouts this year, I was looking at some of the results of last year at this time. There weren't the blowouts that there are this year. The 45 to Golden State, obviously, the 23 to Golden State, the 31 to the Clippers on the second of a back-to-back when they got down actually 48 points, the 25-point loss to Chicago, the 17-point loss to Houston, and so forth. I think that's what's troubling, and certainly their defense is no covering up and no hiding the fact that they are dead last in a points per possession for the opponents, and you're simply not gonna make a dent in anybody in any matchup when it comes to the playoffs if you get there with that kind of record. So, I looked at some of the comments, went back over the comments of the players after the Golden State loss. And, Damian said, and these are direct quotes, he says, we're not playing with heart and we're not competing. We have to play with heart. We have to compete. Now, granted, they're emotional after a loss. I get that. But we've heard this from Dame this year to this regard as well this year. CJ said, this is unacceptable no matter who you're playing against. Alan Crabb said it was embarrassing. And then Damian went on to say, this isn't about the coaches, it's on us. So I would think at this point, guys, that the players are fed up with their type of performance. I know they have great pride in what they do. I know that they work hard. And defense is, and you guys know this better than I do, you played at the elite level. Defense, first and foremost, is hard work. I mean, it is the hardest work. Our coaches used to tell us back in JV, and again, maybe this is an old school attitude, is you work on the defensive end and you can relax to a degree on the offensive end. But I know in this day and age, it's all about the three-pointer. To a degree, it's about outscoring people. But you look at the Warriors and what they do on the defensive end, there's no secret to how they've been able to win 67 2 years ago, win a championship, win 73, and get to where they did last year in the finals. They do it with their defense feeds that offense. And I think ultimately if you're a young team, as the Blazers are, and you want to achieve greatness, want to win a championship, you've got to start playing and become much more focused on the defensive end. So, I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow. They're playing a Sacramento team that lost by 20 to Dallas, coming off a loss there. They've got a lot of issues themselves. So this is a kind of a quarter-to-quarter type thing. Come out tomorrow night, win that first quarter convincingly, and then just see where it leads you. I think it'll lead to a really nice performance tomorrow. And then, we're all a little bit tired, but they've been on the road a great deal. But, carry that attitude and that momentum back to home against a Dallas team that, albeit, they've won a couple here. They're in Denver tonight. They've fallen behind. But, a Dallas team that's they're undermanned, certainly, and they've got some injuries there, but they're well coached. But begin a 4-game stretch against some outstanding ball clubs, San Antonio, Toronto coming to town, and then capped by Sacramento. So this is a good opportunity, I think, for the Blazers to snap out of it defensively against Sacramento tomorrow night.
Kevin, let me ask you a question, and this is not so much just about the Trailblazers. It's kind of about today's NBA and the style of play. When you shoot quick, and you're an offensive flowing team like the Portland Trailblazers, who don't necessarily always shoot quick, but they certainly are green-lighted to shoot quick if the opportunity presents itself, does that put more pressure on your defense?
Well, I think it does, particularly when it's a three, because if you're not hitting threes, the ball's coming off long, and now you've got players. When you shoot a quick three, more likely your teammates are strung out across the floor. So now, ball's coming off, not only you have to locate the ball, but you're going to have to locate a man to screen. We've seen that a lot. Guys going unboxed for rebounds and so forth. So I think it does put pressure on you without question. You have to get back in transition. You have to find a guy. What they always tell you is you get back into the lane and then you proceed out from the paint to defend. Well, in today's NBA, they're coming the other way, and guys are immediately going to the corners or they're trailing, and they're spotting up and shooting threes. So now you're on the open floor, ball comes off long. Now you got to locate a guy or get to a spot. It's, to me, that would be very, very difficult. So I think that certainly is part of it. But you know what? Everybody's playing that game, Michael. I mean, everybody's playing that game now in the league, right? They're all shooting the threes. They're all getting the quick trigger, it seems like, and they're pulling early in transition. And you just have to have the correct spacing and balance. But I look at the teams that 1 through 4 in the West. Those are all teams that are in top 10 offensively and offensive rating and top 10 in defensive rating. So there are no easy answers to the top. It's not just about scoring the ball. You have to defend. I mean, that's demonstrable. And just looking at the top 4 teams right now in the West, top 10 in both categories, you've got to do it.
All right, Kevin. Well, thank you very much. We'll make sure we get you those updated pick-to-click standings before the next game also.
Well, yeah, because I'm in the lead, am I not?
Yeah, we got to show.
We got to talk to the committee.
We got to show that while you're in the lead, because I would anticipate that's going to continue.
You're passionate about it. I got a little bit of a grip right there. All right, stick around.